The Silence Protocol. The Last Transmission. The Valkyrie Empire had ruled the galaxy for 3,000 years. Their ships moved through space like gods, their technology beyond comprehension, their armies unstoppable. They had conquered 847 worlds without ever meeting real resistance. Every species they encountered either surrendered immediately or died slowly. Earth was supposed to be number 848. Commander Thrace stood on the bridge of the Valkyrie flagship Dominion's edge, watching the small blue planet rotate peacefully below. It looked harmless. Beautiful even, with its white clouds and green continents. But Thrace knew better than to trust appearances. "Send the standard ultimatum," he ordered, his 4 arms crossed behind his back. "Give them 12 solar hours to surrender." The communications officer nodded, transmitting the message that had worked on every other world. The message was simple: surrender your resources, accept Valkyrie rule, or be destroyed. It always worked. Species valued survival above pride. The response from Earth came faster than expected. "Commander," the communications officer said, confusion in his voice. "They've replied already." "Play it." A human face appeared on the main screen. Female, middle-aged, wearing a simple uniform with no visible weapons. She looked tired but calm. "This is Secretary General Martinez of the United Earth Government," she said in a steady voice. "We have received your ultimatum. Our answer is no. We will not surrender. We will not negotiate. And we will not respond to any further communications from your empire." Thrace leaned forward. "That's it? No threats? No demands?" "There's more, Commander." The officer hesitated. "They've shut down all their communication systems. Every satellite, every transmitter, every radio tower on the planet just went dark. They're not broadcasting anything at all." The first mistake. Thrace had seen defiance before. Every species tried it at first. They always threatened, always promised revenge, always claimed they had secret weapons. But this was different. Humans weren't threatening. They were just silent. "Begin the demonstration," Thrace ordered. "Target their largest city. Level 1 destruction only. That usually convinces them." The weapons officer targeted New York City, a massive urban center with millions of inhabitants. The orbital cannon charged, energy building until it could vaporize a mountain. The beam lanced down from space, brilliant and unstoppable. It never reached the ground. Something caught it. Something massive and invisible wrapped around the energy beam 3 kilometers above the city and bent it sideways into the ocean. The water exploded into steam, but the city remained untouched. "Report," Thrace shouted. "Unknown defensive system, Commander. Energy signature is unlike anything in our database. It's not deflecting the beam, it's changing its direction. As if gravity itself is moving." Thrace felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Uncertainty. Full bombardment. All weapons. Target every major population center simultaneously. The Dominion's edge had enough firepower to crack a planet's crust. 27 orbital cannons fired at once, targeting cities across Earth's surface. Each beam carried enough energy to destroy a small moon. Every single one was caught and redirected. New York, London, Beijing, Mumbai, Sao Paulo, every city remained standing. The beams bent away impossibly, as if the planet itself refused to let them land. Some beams shot back into space. Others curved into oceans or empty deserts. "Commander, their defensive system isn't even straining. Our weapons are having zero effect." The growing dread. Thrace stared at the planet below. Still silent. Still peaceful. Still spinning slowly in the void. "Send the invasion force," he said quietly. "If we can't destroy them from orbit, we'll take the planet by ground." 12,000 Valkyrie shock troops dropped from the sky in armored pods. They were the Empire's elite, trained for exactly this kind of resistant conquest. Each soldier could fight for days without rest, each carried weapons that could level buildings. The pods landed in empty fields outside major cities. The troops deployed in perfect formation, weapons ready, waiting for the inevitable counterattack. It never came. For 6 hours, the Valkyrie soldiers stood in those fields. No humans approached. No armies marched toward them. No aircraft flew overhead. The cities in the distance showed normal activity, lights on, vehicles moving, but no military response at all. Finally, the troops began advancing toward the nearest city, Chicago. They marched for hours across farmland and highways. They passed abandoned cars and empty homes. Everything looked normal, but there were no people anywhere. When they reached the city outskirts, they found the first barrier. It wasn't a wall or a force field. It was simply a line marked on the ground in white paint. Beyond it, the city continued as usual. People walked on streets, worked in buildings, lived their lives. The first soldier to cross the line vanished. Not exploded. Not killed. Just gone. One moment he was there, the next moment he wasn't. No sound, no flash of light, no indication of what happened. Fall back, the unit commander ordered. But it was too late. The line began moving outward, sweeping toward the Valkyrie troops. Soldiers tried to run, but the line was faster. One by one, they disappeared. Within minutes, all 12,000 elite warriors were gone. The realization. Back on the Dominion's edge, Thrace watched in horror as his entire invasion force simply ceased to exist. Life signs? He asked, though he already knew the answer. Gone, Commander. All of them. No bodies, no energy signatures, no trace they were ever there. Thrace activated the fleet-wide communication. All ships, prepare to retreat to. The transmission cut off. Every screen on the bridge went dark. Then they flickered back on, showing the same image on every display, the face of Secretary General Martinez. You were warned, she said simply. You were told we would not respond to further communications. You attacked anyway. You invaded anyway. So now you will learn what humans do to those who refuse to leave us alone. What did you do to my soldiers? Thrace demanded. Martinez smiled sadly. Nothing. They're perfectly safe. They're in a place where they can't hurt anyone, including themselves. Every single soldier you sent is alive and healthy. They're just elsewhere. Where? Somewhere you'll never find them. Somewhere your technology cannot reach. Somewhere beyond your understanding of space and time. She paused. Your ships are welcome to leave. Your weapons cannot harm us, your armies cannot touch us, and we have no interest in conquest or revenge. But if you stay, if you try to attack again, we will do to your entire fleet what we did to your soldiers. You're bluffing, Thrace said, but his voice lacked conviction. We're not, Martinez replied. We developed this technology 50 years ago. We've been ready for first contact ever since. We hoped it would be peaceful. You made sure it wasn't. The screen went dark. Thrace looked around his bridge. His crew stared back at him, waiting for orders. He had commanded this fleet for 20 years. He had conquered 17 worlds personally. He had never retreated. Set course for Valkyrie Prime, he said quietly. Maximum speed. As the fleet began to move away from Earth, every ship's navigation system simultaneously displayed the same message in perfect Valkyrie script. Safe travels. Do not return. The planet below remained silent. Peaceful. Rotating slowly in the void, as if nothing had happened at all, the message spreads. The fleet commander's dilemma. Commander Thrace sat alone in his quarters aboard the Dominion's edge, staring at empty space. The retreat from Earth had taken 3 days. 3 days of silence from his crew, 3 days of wondering what he would tell the High Command, 3 days of trying to understand what had happened. The Valkyrie Empire did not tolerate failure. Commanders who retreated without destroying their targets were usually executed as examples. But how could he explain this? How could he tell them that Earth hadn't defeated them with superior weapons or massive armies, but with something far worse, technology that simply removed threats from existence? He activated his personal log, recording what might be his final report. Earth possesses technology beyond our comprehension, he began. They can manipulate space itself, redirecting energy weapons with no apparent effort. They can remove physical objects, including living beings, from reality and place them somewhere our sensors cannot detect. Most disturbing of all, they showed no aggression, no anger, no desire for revenge. They simply protected themselves. He paused, considering his next words carefully. I believe Earth is not a target for conquest. I believe Earth is a warning we should have heeded. The Galactic Council responds. News of the failed Earth invasion spread across the galaxy faster than lightspeed communication. The Valkyrie Empire tried to suppress the information, but too many witnesses had seen what happened. Within weeks, every major civilization knew that humanity had defeated the Empire's forces without firing a single shot. The Galactic Council, a coalition of 12 ancient species who maintained neutrality in all conflicts, called an emergency session. They had never invited humans to join before. Earth had been considered too young, too primitive, too violent. That assessment was about to change. Secretary General Martinez received the invitation personally. It arrived through quantum entanglement communication, a technology Earth didn't officially possess. The message was simple. Your presence is requested at the Galactic Council. Your safety is guaranteed. Your response will determine humanity's future among the stars. Martinez consulted with Earth's unified government for exactly 7 minutes before accepting. She traveled alone to the Council station orbiting a neutron star at the galaxy's center, bringing no weapons, no guards, no technology except what she wore. The Council chamber was enormous, designed to accommodate species of vastly different sizes and environmental needs. Martinez stood in a simple containment field that provided Earth-normal atmosphere, facing 12 beings that represented civilizations millions of years old. The Council speaker, a crystalline entity that communicated through light patterns, addressed her first. Humanity has demonstrated capabilities that concern us greatly, it said through the translation field. You possess technology to manipulate spacetime, to remove matter from conventional reality, to defend against any known weapon system. Yet your civilization is less than 1 million years old. How is this possible? Martinez chose her words carefully. We had a very good teacher. Explain. 75 years ago, something visited Earth. We don't know what it was, where it came from, or why it chose us. It appeared in our solar system for exactly 1 hour, transmitted a massive data package to every computer on Earth simultaneously, then disappeared. The data contained technologies we're still trying to understand. Spacetime manipulation. Quantum displacement. Reality anchoring. And one very clear warning. What warning? The Council speaker asked. That the galaxy is more dangerous than we imagined. That civilizations rise and fall constantly, that conquest is the norm, and that if we wanted to survive, we needed to be able to defend ourselves without becoming conquerors ourselves. The technology it gave us has exactly one purpose: protection. We cannot use it to attack. We cannot use it to invade. We can only use it to ensure that anyone who threatens us simply can't. The Council chamber fell silent. 12 ancient species processed this information, each considering the implications. Finally, the speaker responded. You claim this technology is purely defensive? Completely. We've tested it extensively. Every weapon system it gave us has one function: prevention. We can redirect attacks, remove aggressors, create barriers. But we cannot strike first. The technology literally prevents it. We tried during our testing phase, but the systems won't activate unless Earth or human lives are directly threatened. So you cannot conquer? We cannot attack. We can defend, we can protect, we can remove threats. But we cannot be aggressors. The unknown visitor made sure of that. Another council member spoke, a massive serpentine creature from a high-gravity world. The Valkyrie troops you removed, where are they? In a pocket dimension created specifically for that purpose. It's comfortable there, Earth-like conditions, adequate resources. They're essentially in a waiting room. When the Valkyrie Empire agrees to leave Earth alone permanently, we'll return them. All of them, completely unharmed. You took 12,000 soldiers prisoner and didn't hurt any of them? That's correct. We have no interest in killing. We only want to be left alone to develop at our own pace. The vote. The council deliberated for 6 days. Martinez waited in comfortable quarters on the station, watching the neutron star pulse through the viewport, wondering what Earth's future would be. On the 7th day, the council summoned her back. The Galactic Council has made its decision, the speaker announced. Humanity will be granted protected status. No empire or civilization may approach Earth without explicit invitation. Any attempt to attack, conquer, or coerce humanity will result in immediate council intervention. Furthermore, we are offering Earth provisional membership in the council itself, pending a probationary period of 100 years. Martinez felt relief flood through her. Thank you. We accept. However, the speaker continued, we have conditions. You must share the defensive technology with the council. Not for weapons development, but so we can understand what the unknown visitor gave you and why. Martinez shook her head. I'm sorry, but we can't do that. The chamber erupted in surprised reactions. 12 species had never heard anyone refuse a council directive. Explain, the speaker demanded. The technology contains built-in restrictions. It works for humans because it was designed for humans. Any attempt to transfer it to another species causes it to self-destruct. We've tried. The visitor made certain that this technology would protect humanity and only humanity. We can't share it even if we wanted to. That is unprecedented. So is everything about this situation, Martinez replied. We didn't ask for this technology. We didn't seek to become a galactic power. We just want to live peacefully, develop naturally, and be left alone. The visitor gave us the tools to ensure that, and apparently made certain those tools couldn't be used by anyone else or used to hurt others. The council conferred again briefly. Very well, the speaker finally said. Earth will remain protected. But understand this, the galaxy is watching humanity now. Every species knows what you can do. Some will respect your boundaries. Others will test them. And some will try to discover how to bypass your defenses. Your isolation may not last forever. We understand, Martinez said. But until that day comes, we'll be ready. We'll continue developing, learning, growing. And if anyone threatens us, they'll discover the same thing the Valkyrie did, humanity cannot be conquered. The return home. Martinez returned to Earth to a hero's welcome. The planet had watched the council proceedings through quantum communication. Humanity knew it was now protected, recognized, and respected across the galaxy. But Martinez felt uneasy. She stood in her office overlooking New York City, the same city the Valkyrie had tried to destroy, and thought about the unknown visitor. Who were they? Why had they helped humanity? And most importantly, what did they expect in return? The technology they'd provided came with no instructions, no demands, no explanations. Just tools for defense and a warning about the galaxy's true nature. Her assistant interrupted her thoughts. Ma'am, you asked to be notified when the Valkyrie formally agreed to the treaty. And? They've signed. All 12,000 soldiers will be returned within the week, and the Empire has agreed to permanent non-contact with Earth. Commander Thrace personally guaranteed it. Martinez nodded. Good. Make sure the return process is gentle. Those soldiers were just following orders. They don't deserve punishment. As her assistant left, Martinez turned back to the window. Somewhere out there, the unknown visitor might be watching. Or they might have moved on to help another young species survive in a dangerous galaxy. Either way, humanity was alone now. Protected, yes. Recognized, yes. But ultimately alone with technology they didn't fully understand and a future that remained uncertain. The communicator on her desk chimed. She checked the message and froze. It was a quantum transmission from deep space, origin unknown, message simple. You did well. Stay curious. Stay human. The galaxy needs more defenders, not conquerors. We'll be watching. The message self-deleted before she could trace it. Martinez smiled. Maybe humanity wasn't quite as alone as she thought. She turned off the lights in her office and headed home, leaving the city's lights glowing peacefully below, a testament to a species that had refused to surrender and somehow survived by choosing defense over dominance. The galaxy had learned an important lesson: Earth didn't conquer. Earth didn't attack. Earth didn't threaten. Earth simply stopped answering those who did. And that, it turned out, was the most powerful weapon of all.